Nigerians have taken to the media with tears in their eyes, asking the same question over and over. What is the singular offense of this young man, Dr. Ikenna, that warranted his untimely demise, his untimely death, all the way in the United States of America? The answer is not far-fetched. The only crime that this young man committed was simply getting married and having children. Well, for those of you who do not know, Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia Erinne is a Nigerian American-based cardiologist. Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia was an alumnus of Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Port Harcourt, ever before traveling to the United States of America, where he studied and acquired a medical degree from Morehouse School of Medicine. This young man, who hails from Anambra State, has actually paid his dues. For those of you who understand what it takes to becoming a cardiologist in the United States of America, you will understand that this young man is not only intelligent, he's not only smart, but he has paid his dues over the years, because it takes a minimum of 8 to 14 years before becoming a trained cardiologist in the United States of America. But very sadly, this young man ended in this very fashion. My heartfelt condolence goes to the family and the children this young man has left behind. Now let's get into more details. As the news has it, Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia Erinne has been in a long-time divorce, court battle with his estranged wife, Suzette Chibogo, with whom he had 2 kids, Ugonna and Munachi. It is not very clear what actually transpired between the two from the outset that brought about filing for divorce and subsequently fighting for the custody of the children. Based on the information available on the internet space, it was revealed that Dr. Ikenna lost the custody battle for the children. And having lost the custody battle of the children, he was also asked to pay a monthly, child support of $15,000, as well as with, very strong restrictions on having access to the children. More information revealed that thereafter, after the pronouncement from the court, that Dr. Ikenna held hostage his beloved wife, his 2 kids, Ugonna and Munachi, and a nanny at a gunpoint. And somehow, the nanny escaped and alerted the police. But before the police arrived at the venue, sadly as the news has it, Dr. Ikenna took his own life using a pistol. The question here is, how true is this case? Because, looking at the situation, if truly Dr. Ikenna held this family hostage for a reason, one singular question would be, what are the reasons? What are his intentions? If this actually happened and he had a bad intention for doing that, probably the young man would have wasted both the wife, the kids, and probably alongside with himself. But very unfortunately, he ended up wasting his own life, just as the news has it. These are all speculations. However, a lot of people are saying that this did not happen, while some are saying that Ikenna was not legally married to Suzette Chibogo. But some of the reliable information we have seen so far from the internet space supposes that in the year 2020, that Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia legally got married to his beloved wife, Suzette Chibogo, according to the customs and traditions of Ndibo, all the way in the United States of America. However, we do not have any verifiable evidence supposing that both of them later had a court marriage. But it is obvious that they later got one, because for you to stay legally married in the United States of America, you should get a court marriage. Otherwise, both of you will share what they call partnership and not legally married couple. As information available reveals or confirms that Chukwukadibia, Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia, hails from Anambra State as well as the beloved wife. Well, another side of the story, as was told by the father of Dr. Ikenna's wife, Mr. Francis Van Lera, a Nigerian American-based businessman who has been an internet sensationalist for many months in the last year, a man who at some point posted names and pictures of Nigerian girls whom he claimed allegedly say he don't knock all of them. He was trying to compare, different ethnic groups in Nigeria, say this one and then the sweet past, and this one I know the sweet past. Unfortunately, many Nigerians lamented when it was revealed that this Mr. Francis Van Lera is actually the biological father of late Dr. Ikenna's wife, Suzette Van Lera. But whatever may be the case, Mr. Francis alleges or claims that Ikenna was not asked to pay $15,000 as child support monthly, that Ikenna was paying earlier $1,900. He even claimed that Ikenna at some point started defaulting in the payment of this money. Later, this same man also made another post, claiming that the $15,000 that Ikenna was asked to pay as a child support is as a result of the fact that he has a physically challenged, son, a physically challenged child who requires, special attention, special education, special treatment from special doctors, and that the court equally factored into consideration, how much both Ikenna earns as a cardiologist and how much the wife earns, who is a certified, pianist and a trumpeter, and she also holds a degree from medical science. Well, this is a side story from the father of the wife. The bigger question now is, what could have compelled Dr. Ikenna to make the hasty decision of taking his own life? A lot of people allege or claim that during the divorce battle in the court, that Ikenna's license as a cardiologist was revoked in the United States of America, and that Ikenna also spent thousands of dollars while hiring different lawyers pursuing this case diligently, hoping that he was going to win the custody of the children. But very sadly, he lost out. While the father of the wife came out to also debunk that news, saying that Ikenna's license was not debunked, that Ikenna has active licenses in Illinois, Virginia, and some other cities he mentioned. At this point, I just have to quit because the more I talk about this, the more it saddens my soul. But whatever may be the case, good people, destroying yourself, taking your own life is never an option. And you must always know this. Marriages and many court cases, as far as the West is concerned, will always favor the female gender. I do not have an idea what actually transpired between the two of them from the beginning of time that brought about filing for divorce and all of that. But whatever may be the case, it is now obvious from all indications, if all that has been alleged, all the public opinion about what happened, if they are all true, you can understand in clear terms that Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia Erinne actually passed through a lot. You can imagine the number of years it took him to become a cardiologist, and subsequently how traumatized he may have become in that relationship if truly his license was revoked, if truly he was asked to pay $15,000 monthly, if truly he was restricted from having access to his own children. These are all in three cases and situations and circumstances that can trigger a man into depression, that can get a man to be traumatized. And do not forget that the moment you become traumatized, there are tendencies you will become depressed. And the moment it degenerates into depression, psychologically you are gone, because it means that both cognitive distortions and emotional dysregulation have all taken a turn on you. They have all played a role in your life. They have all encapsulated your emotions, your brain, your sense of reasoning. And at this point, you see yourself having a very strong negative belief about yourself. You become pessimistic about the future. You begin to see no value about living the next day. You begin to see no value about living for the next minute. At this point, what you need is help. All you need is to speak out. All you need is to talk to somebody. All you need is to move out from wherever you are to somewhere new. Otherwise, trauma and depression will consume you to make a very hasty decision of even taking your own life. Because at that point, due to instability in your emotions and as a result of the negative belief and thinking and imagination you already having about yourself, you are standing at a thin line between life and death. You are almost 50% in the spirit and 50% in the flesh. And if the 50% in the spirit wins over your physical self, your flesh, that is that moment when people gather the morale, people gather the strength to take their own life. Therefore, I wish to say this: taking your own life is never an option, no matter the circumstances. It saddens me that this young man ended up in this fashion. But most importantly, like I've always said, before you walk down the aisle with that beloved woman of your life, with that beloved man of your life, ask questions. Ask, where are these people coming from? Ask questions about the antecedent. Ask questions about their families. Ask questions about their parents. Ask questions about their upbringing. Who is the man that gave birth to that woman you want to marry? Who is the woman that gave birth to that woman you want to marry? Who is the man and that woman that gave birth to that man that you want to marry? Don't forget, my Igbo brothers and sisters will always say, may the good Lord comfort the family of Dr. Ikenna Chukwukadibia.